Can you imagine? And that still felt like a mountain, but you could raise a family on one income, mow the lawn on Saturdays, and know your neighbors by name. The white picket fence dream actually came with a front porch and a working doorbell. A gallon of gas cost around 30, and that wasn't on sale. That was normal. You'd pull into the station and an attendant in a cap would fill it up, check your oil, clean your windshield, and maybe even hand you a free map. No credit cards, no touch screens, just coins, a nod, and a smile. You saw them everywhere, parked at the diner, idling at red lights, or rumbling through suburbia. The Ford Mustang hit the streets in '64, and suddenly every teenager had a poster of one. It wasn't just a car, it was freedom on four wheels. And if you knew someone who had one, you never forgot it. The average U.S. salary in the 1960s hovered around $7,000 a year. It wasn't much, but it stretched. One income fed the whole house, filled the gas tank, and maybe even paid for a summer vacation. You didn't feel rich, but you didn't feel like you were falling behind either. Summer camp was bug spray, bunk beds, and that one counselor with a guitar who knew 2 chords. You'd write postcards home that said, "Having fun, even if you cried the first night." And somehow, the mosquito bites, the cafeteria mystery meat, and the campfire songs stuck with you forever. The milkman brought fresh glass bottles to your doorstep before you ever worried about expiration dates. You'd hear the clink of bottles before breakfast was even on the table. And if you were lucky, he left chocolate milk too. A little surprise that made your morning feel like Christmas. Watching the moon landing live meant crowding around a tiny black and white TV with fuzzy reception and rabbit ears. Nobody blinked. Neil Armstrong's voice crackled through the static, and for one brief second, the entire country felt like it was sitting in the same living room, holding its breath. Back then, cameras had flash bulbs you had to replace after every shot. They'd pop, sizzle, and get hot, and you carried a little pack of extras like they were ammo. Family gatherings meant blinding everyone 5 times in a row just to be sure one picture turned out. When the Beatles showed up on the Ed Sullivan Show, it was like a switch flipped. The hair, the screaming, the way girls clutched their chests like they'd seen the future. And maybe they had. For one night, every living room in America became a concert hall with a tiny black and white stage. Seat belts? We didn't know her. The back of the station wagon was a rolling playground. Blankets, toys, maybe a loose dog or two. No one wore a belt. And somehow we survived. We bounced with every bump in the road, eating snacks and fighting over who got the window seat. Lucy wasn't just a rerun. She was family. You knew the episode. You knew the chocolate factory, the grape stomp, the scheming. But you still laughed because it wasn't about the plot. It was about comfort. About hearing that same intro jingle and feeling at home. Every kid had at least one ViewMaster reel. You'd click through 3D images of national parks, cartoon characters, or Disney scenes. That little red viewer transported you click by click to places you'd only ever heard about. And sometimes you'd flip through the whole thing twice just for fun.